Hello and welcome to this lecture wherein we are going to start with the molecular rearrangement chapter. So first of all, what is molecular rearrangement? A group or an atom migrates during the course of reaction, that is rearrangement, wherein the skeletal structure of the molecule changes. If you represent molecule as ABC, then A migrates to C and you get the rearranged product. Now the group which is migrating is known as migrating group, and where it is migrating, that is migrating terminus, and the migrating aptitude of the group is defined by certain terms. We will come to that later, and this is the rearranged product. Now there are few categories wherein the rearrangement can be classified as. So today we will see the rearrangement which is happening at electron deficient carbon atom. So basically a carbonium ion or carbocation is formed which triggers the rearrangement or the migration of group. There are 6 reactions under this category. We will just quickly see this and the reaction mechanism also accompanying these transformations. So first of all, Mirwin-Wagner rearrangement. This is also termed as carbonium ion rearrangement. If you take this natural product, treat it with acid, this gets protonated. Loss of proton gives you the carbonium ion. The migration of the sigma bond gives you these two are equivalent structure. When this loses a proton, the terminal methyl, you get this exocyclic bond. It is same, you can show it like this. Now these two structures are also identical, that is your Mirwin-Wagner rearrangement. We will come to this. I will write down the mechanism also for each and every rearrangement, and in next lecture we will see the examples, many examples based on these rearrangements. I will tell you the tricks also, how to remember these and so on. The second one is pinnacle-pinnacolone rearrangement, wherein the alcohol is protonated and a carbonium ion is formed in such a way that you get the most stable carbonium ion which rearranges, and then the either water acts as a nucleophile or these two groups they rearrange. Now this methyl migrates and then the loss of proton gives you this alkene. So two products are there. Third reaction is Damjanov rearrangement, wherein the ring expansion is seen. Now this is the leaving group, the nitrogen goes off, you generate a positive charge here, and then the ring expansion gives you this carbonium ion. This can lose a proton and get a double bond, or it can be attacked by water, so that you get a alcohol. Next one is benzyl benzylic acid, wherein 1,2-diketone, when treated with base like KOH, you get the formation of alpha hydroxy acid. Then comes the important reaction, that is Wolff rearrangement, or this is also termed as unystered synthesis, when you are starting with a acid and going to the homologous acid. So that is Wolff rearrangement. RCOCl, the acid chloride treated with diazomethane, and you get the diazoketone, which on treatment with Ag plus, or the photolite you get ketin, and that ketin on hydrolysis gives you the homologous acid. Then dinone phenol, this is dinone and the acid catalyzed. So first of all protonation occurs here, and then subsequently the pi bond migrates, this R migrates, this becomes plus, and loss of proton gives you the rearranged product. So that is dinone phenol rearrangement. Now let us see the mechanism for all these reactions, and if time permit we will write down few more examples pertaining to these reactions. So now once we are done with the mechanism, I will tell you the tricks how to remember the all 10-15 reactions are there, and the name reactions are important because a lot of questions would be asked, either theory or numericals. So you are supposed to remember the tricks or should know the starting compound, reagents, products and so on. So let us write down the mechanism for all the examples what we have written. Since I have cleared, I will just put the examples and we will quickly write down the mechanism for them. The first one is the Merwin-Wagner rearrangement. So first of all, protonation of hydroxyl group to give you this loss of water. So loss of water occurs, and what you have, you will be having this carbonium ion. Now this carbonium ion is non-classical carbonium ion. Unlike other carbonium ion, this is different with the bridgehead systems. This group migrates, and now what you can see is this one. This carbon and carbon forms a bond, and effectively this becomes electron deficient. Now we have already written the equivalent structure of this, so I am just putting this structure over here. And in the last step, what happens is the loss of proton to conjugate base, because once H plus is there, conjugate base has to be there. So this ultimately gives you the exocyclic double bond as a product. So as a result of this, we'll have this as a product. So that is the Merwin-Wagner rearrangement. Now this is applicable to all these systems wherein the carbocation rearrangement is feasible, right from terpenoid, alkaloids, even steroids also. We will see some complex examples in due course. To begin with, I am not starting with those complex examples, but we will do some examples for practice purpose also, so that you will not have fear of molecular rearrangement topic. The second reaction is pinacol-pinacolone rearrangement. Now pinacol-pinacolone rearrangement is nothing but the treatment of vicinal glycols with H plus to give you the rearranged product, either aldehyde or ketone, depending upon the substituents attached to it. I am just putting the different example over here. This is the vicinal glycol you are dealing with, and now we are having, say, this is the vicinal glycol or diol. First of all, the protonation of one of them, preferably the one where more stable carbonium ion is generated, and that is this one, because this carbonium ion would be benzylic as well as tertiary. So this is going to be more stable than the other carbonium ion, which is theoretically possible. And now you can see that this is formed. Now out of these two, one of the methyl migrates here, and this becomes. So what we have, the CH3 comes over here, H is already there, and this becomes COCH3. I am just putting some arbitrary example. So if hydrogen is there, then you will end up with aldehyde and so on. So this is one of the example. We have written different example. I will come to that example also. Okay. The example which we have written earlier, we will write down the mechanism for that example also. So first of all, the protonation of OH, this goes off, this group migrates, and the ring size becomes 5. Okay. So ultimately what you have is, now it is this one. Okay. So the carbon which is next to this gem dimethyl group containing is positive, either you put here or here, no matter, it is same. If this loses a proton, if this reacts with water, like if water reacts and loss of proton, this will give you the alcohol. If methyl migrates, you get the secondary becomes tertiary. So this is going to be more predominant product, and now we have got a hydrogen, you can lose this. So minus H plus will eventually give you the dimethyl cyclopentene as a product. So this is going to be major product, this is going to be the minor product depending upon the stability of carbonium ion. So this is going to be tertiary, so going to be more stable and will be the predominant product in this reaction. Sometimes they call it as semi-pinacol to this, because you are not working with a diol, you are working with a alcohol, and the mechanism and other parts are more or less same. We will come to them later on with the now Damjanov rearrangement. N2 can be written like this. If this goes off, this becomes plus, group migrates, I am free to put positive charge on any, because the molecule is symmetrical, and now this can add, like water can be added, and loss of proton can give me the alcohol. So the ring expansion, what you call it as, it is catalyzed by acid or heat. You can even nitrogen goes up upon heating, and then the nucleophile, generally water, attacks and you get the alcohol in this reaction. Okay. Now the next one is benzylic acid rearrangement. Now I will just put benzyl like this. This is benzyl. The treatment of benzyl with base can give us this intermediate. Now this becomes O minus, this is OH, and this is pH. This is the alkoxide ion, which is the intermediate. Now this intermediate, this O minus comes back here, so you get a carbonyl group back. This phenyl ring migrates, and so eventually what you have, O minus pH, C double bond O, OH. This will take up the proton, and this exists as a OH, pH, CO, O minus. The acidic workup can give you the alpha hydroxy acid. So that is your benzylic acid rearrangement, wherein 1,2-diketone is becoming alpha hydroxy acid. Then coming to the next reaction, that is Wolff rearrangement, and the entire reaction is also termed as unestered synthesis. Just to begin with, I am just going quickly so that in examples you will get more exposure to this kind of thing. I am just taking some simple example. Let us start with acetic acid, thionyl chloride, SNI reaction gives you the acid chloride with the elimination of SO2 gas and HCl. That is your conventional SNI reaction. Then at this stage you are having CH2 double bond N, this minus plus, this is your diazomethane, this comes here, goes here, the Cl goes off. So eventually what we have, CO, CH2, I am just putting H here so that I can show the other reaction. Then the Cl which is going out can function as a base, and this will come here. I am just doing it fast so that we can save the time. This comes back to carbon and nitrogen goes off. So what we have this intermediate which is known as ketene. Upon treatment with water, so you will get the acid. I am just writing it as it appears. This is the homologous acid, wherein you can see that one carbon is enhanced. You are starting with acetic acid, you are ending with propanoic acid, and that is what the unestered synthesis is. The Wolff rearrangement is this one. When acid chloride is treated with diazomethane, get ketene, and depending upon the nucleophile you can get different product. If I use alcohol, I will get ester and so on. Then dinone-phenol, this is relatively easy as compared to others. R is not defined, but nonetheless we will write like this. This is what this become plus, that is the driving force. This pi bond migrates here, this R migrates here, because once carbonium ion is formed, the other groups will migrate in order to compensate the charge. The positive charge on this carbon is rectified because pi bond is moving. This becomes R, the R is already there, and now the positive charge is here because your fourth group is migrating. There was a proton here, although we don't write. The loss of proton can furnish the rearranged product. So this is phenolic compound, so that's why it is known as dinone phenol rearrangement, because you are working with dinone, the end product is phenolic compound, so that is dinone phenol. Now this is all about the carbocation rearrangements. Now I am going to tell you the trick, like how to remember these reactions, because there are so many reactions to be remembered, and in exam you are supposed to understand the reaction, then only you can write down the mechanism. So identification of a reaction is very important. So I will suggest you to make a chart, name of the reaction or name of the rearrangement, starting compound, reagent, intermediate, product. If you make a chart like this, I'll just quickly put some illustrative examples here. If I start with this, let us say I am putting pinnacle pinnacolon rearrangement, pinnacle pinnacolon rearrangement. Starting compound is vicinal, diol or glycol. Reagent is most probably the protonic acid, and intermediate I can show the carbonium ion, you can see, and product is going to be aldehyde or ketone depending upon the. So, once you know that you are working with vicinal glycol, the chances of pinnacle pinnacolon rearrangements are very high. Then benzylic acid, one 2-diketone. Now that 1,2-diketone can be anything, not necessarily benzyl. Reagent KOH or NaOH. Intermediate, you remember or you don't remember, no problem, and here it is alpha hydroxy acid. So, in this way, if we make a chart, there are about 12-13 reactions which are there in your syllabus. So, those 12-13 reactions can be, you can make a table and you can remember all these reactions very easily. The mechanism and other part is next thing. Like first of all, you have to understand what the reaction is, and then mechanism will automatically come. Similarly, you can write down for all these. Say Wolff reaction, you are starting with acid. Acid is the starting compound. Reagent is diazomethane. Intermediate is ketene, and last product is the homologous acid, and so on. So, this way you can make a chart and remember all the reactions which are there in your syllabus. At least the reactions which are listed in the syllabus should be known to you, or you should be well versed with the reactions, their mechanisms, and so on. So, I hope for today it is enough, because I don't know whether you had any background of these rearrangements and all in lower classes, but anyway, thank you for your patience hearing. I will continue from here next time. Thank you.